My ammunition is low! For the moment, we need not worry about ammo!
Hey, Rick, Comedy Vials 27 back here for yet another wonderful video. Day 2 of 8. Every single day I will be bringing you early access gameplay footage from the capture event I attended at Treyarch Studios. So I must disclose to you that I was flown out by Activision. They paid for my hotel and my plane ride out there, and they gave us some food when we attended the event as well. So you must know that my opinion is obviously going to be a little bit biased about the games I'm playing, but I am still true to you. I did not get paid in any shape, way, or form to say good things about this game. Whatever I tell you is absolutely my opinion. So take that with a grain of salt like you normally would and enjoy the gameplay on screen. And I have to thank Mr. Raffle Waffles and Johnny J. Johnny played in this game with me, and he also helped me out with some footage yesterday's video in Moon. And Milo was helping me out with some Origins footage today, and he's actually showing you the Staff of Water, which is an interesting change. I wonder why that has changed in the narrative. Why has it gone from ice to water? I don't know. The upgraded staff is still the same, so something interesting to keep in mind. So there's a bunch of things I need to try and get through in this video. I only have 15 minutes to get through gameplay footage, so I wrote things down. First off, when all this comes out, May 16th, these maps come out, and it's on PS4 first, and it's Xbox and PC the month later. Then it is $30 for purchase, so it is a hefty sum of money for this map pack, but if you're a Zombies fan, in my opinion, I think it's worth it. But then again, I'm very well off in life right now, so $30 for something that I absolutely adore means a lot to me, and I would absolutely be able to pay for that. But then again, some kids would rather spend that money drinking, or they just might not be able to afford that. So I totally get your concerns about that. And it is not included in the season pass. Clearly on the season pass it said it covers 4 DLCs. So when you bought the season pass, you got your 4 DLCs. This is a 5th extra DLC. Now, again, Activision didn't tell me to let you know that at all, or I never had to even say that. That's just me trying to communicate with you guys so you all know what's going on in the up and ups. I did figure out what the GobbleGums were. They are announced, and it's cool. It is, you get 8 free GobbleGums, so you don't even have to purchase the Chronicles to get these 8 free GobbleGums. Now, by free, I mean you can get them normally in-game by getting Liquid Divinium. There are 2 new Whimsicals, which I will read to you their names right now. Tone Death, Eye Candy are the Whimsicals, and then the new ones are called Raindrops, Power Vacuum, Soda Fountain, Idle Eyes, Extra Credit, Bored to Death, Flavored Hex, and Board Games. I'll link you in the description where you can read all these in detail, but some of the highlights of it is the Whimsical actually changes how you see the map, which I was talking about before, which is awesome. Raindrops actually gives you all the drops inside the game. Power Vacuum gives you more drops more often. Soda Fountain's the one where you can ignore the perk limit, purchase a perk, and then you get a random one for free, which I think is my favorite one out of all of those. That's just a fun way to play. Idle Eyes ignores all zombies, and as long as you stand idle. And then there's more less rare ones that are really cool. So I'll let you dive deep into that. Now, my opinions about Origins is the map is gorgeous. It plays very well, but I do want to address some of your concerns, how you have to start with the MR6 and there's no M1911. That is a little bit of a disappointment to me, but I very much believe that I'm happy with what they did because it's a new way to play. I've already played with the M1911. I already played with these Black Ops 1 weapons and the Black Ops 2 weapons. I'm happy to play these maps with different weapons, and I prefer World at War and Black Ops 3 weapons, but that's personal preference, and everyone's going to have a different personal preference, so it's totally okay if you really wanted those Black Ops 1 weapons. I get you, dude. It probably would have been the same way with me on World at War. I probably wanted some of those to come back, but we still have the black weapon markets available, so you're still seeing your PPSH. You're still seeing your Galil come back. We have the Mark II back here. We have the FAMAS. We have all these guns, the MP40, which is the HD40. We have, actually, it's the MP40 on screen right now. Look at that. They did bring the MP40 back. So, I mean, you have a lot of these weapons coming back that we are used to. So that's something to be excited about. You might not be all your weapons, but I'm sure glad we don't have the dumb China Lake or I'm glad we don't have the SMR coming back. There's plenty of guns that really, I mean, they aren't really fun to have in the game, so something to keep in mind. PhD is gone. I know a lot of people are very upset about that, but I would like to remind you, because, like, I have the same questions as that you have sometimes as well, and when I was at Treyarch talking to Jason, he has a way of challenging players, is the way he explained it to me. He always liked to challenge our beliefs about what we really like in a map, very much with my example of Takio. We all hated Takio, and he made him a really amazing character by the end of it, him and his team. So with PhD, so many people are so upset that we don't have PhD. I guarantee Jason would argue there's a GobbleGum in-game that has no explosive damage, and you'd say, well, I want a PhD flop. They don't have the dolphin dive mechanic. Now, some of you would argue, hey, on PC Customs, we have it as well. Apparently, Treyarch has some instability issues with it. So there is those custom perks that you see online. Yeah, they're cool and all, but something to keep in mind is they don't always work, and they're glitchy. And then it's kind of not that fun when you're playing a crappy game where your perk doesn't work all the time. And how much more upset would you be if you buy a perk that doesn't work, and then all of a sudden you're going to blame Treyarch, why'd you put this in the game? So I think that's where their perspective comes from, but you're still, again, completely entitled to your opinions. I just wanted to address some of those because I think it's a fun conversation. If you're new to my channel, that's what I always do. I always reply to comments and constantly talk to you guys, and I interact. I love hearing what you have to say because that helps form my opinions, and I really got so many new perspectives visiting Treyarch and listening to you guys, and I can't thank you enough for that. So the reason these maps were picked, by the way, there was a nice live stream that happened today. If you didn't see it, I'm sure it'll be posted on the Treyarch YouTube channel at some point or on their Twitch channel, but they really got into the whole point at which they were talking about these maps help explain the Black Ops 3 storyline. So these are critical for you to understand what the heck's going on in that map that was released, the timeline poster, and why Black Ops 3 is the way it is. And I totally agree with that. You get a complete experience. You have a whole narrative being told on the game of Black Ops 3. It's an expensive narrative, but all in all, at the end of the day, you got a game with tons and tons of hours. I know if you put in the hours spent playing in this game versus how much it cost me to pay for these maps, I mean, these are like quarters on an arcade. It's not really costing me much at all. And that's kind of one perspective, and it's kind of sad because game is kind of changing into that corporate entity that we're all experiencing. We also want to talk to you about these community events. We have 8 days of the Undead where we get all these rewards and challenges for playing Call of Duty Zombies and multiplayer, but no one gives a crap about multiplayer anymore. It's a zombie channel, damn you. And it is going to give us rewards from the artist that actually did a lot of Metal Gear work. So if you like Metal Gear Solid, that artist did a bunch of stuff for us that we can actually get calling cards in-game. We can get dynamic themes if you pre-order it and all that stuff. I'm not recommending you pre-order it, by the way, for $30, all right? You can totally pick it up whenever you want. Just for a dynamic theme, that's insane to me. Just be like, I want a dynamic theme. I'm going to drop $30 for something that moves and is in it. I mean, just, it's not real. So that's what still bothers me about microtransactions of the GobbleGums. I like how he's adding them in for free. Treyarch is cool adding in those 8 GobbleGums. That's really, really cool. And they also changed your first hit of every machine on every round is free now, which some people I saw joking on Twitter like, oh, on round 90, oh boy, I'm glad that free 500. But early on, when you're trying to do speedruns and stuff like that, that's changing money. You can shave minutes off your game because now you don't need 500 points to get that GobbleGum that's going to get you to a speedrun or something like that. Just something, some food for thought. I really, really enjoy that perspective. The art design is gorgeous. The maps look gorgeous. Origins was a blast to play. This was probably the map I played the least besides Nocturne Toten and Verrückt. I didn't get a lot of game time on there, and Origins was the other one I didn't get a lot of game. I had a ton of game time on Ascension, Shangri-La, and Moon. I probably had hours and hours on those maps, where Origins was one of those that just I didn't have enough time to really get in on it, which is frustrating because I wanted to play more of it. As you can see, it looks gorgeous. I absolutely love what it looks like, especially what they do with the staffs, how everything's dynamic. You see the water in the ice staff. You see the wind in the wind staff. And by the way, my favorite element is wind, so seeing this, and that's why I also love the wind lightning bow that goes on as well. It's just so cool to see how it all comes together and how it all works. These maps are reimagined in beautiful images, and I'd love to know what your guys' opinions and thoughts are of the maps in the comments below. Overall, many people very excited. The hefty price, I knew that was going to happen. People are going to be upset about that. I knew PhD was going to get some upset, but I never understood like that polarization of Black Ops 1 guns. But that's probably because you probably started with Black Ops 1, so that makes sense to me. It's like, yo, I want that full nostalgia trip. I want my guns that I used to play this game with. That totally makes sense to me. And on you, I mean, I feel the same way about World at War guns. We're just like, I want my MG42. Where's my MG42 in maps? I don't know. Maybe it's to be revealed in an Easter egg or something like that. And there isn't a giant remaster on these maps. Like, they're not rewriting the storyline or anything like that, but there's now rumors, there's grumblings about a possible super Easter egg that we complete all the Easter eggs on all the maps, and then we could do some kind of super Easter egg that alters the timeline slightly. I'd be interested to know if that actually happens, but we'll have to see. Now, I think I covered all my topics. I'm very, very excited about all this stuff. And the big thing is sound design. I love the sound design of this, so I'm just going to let you listen to the end of this gameplay. I know you guys were all like, can we hear some gameplay without commentators? So I'm going to give you the gameplay. Please don't steal it. Please don't steal it. Even though plenty of people are going to steal it from me asking that. But it was a privilege enough for Activision and Treyarch to allow me to bring this stuff early to you. So if you want to use it for your own personal use, good on you. But please don't re-upload this and then monetize it, because that completely defeats the purpose of this. And you'll probably get a strike anyway on your channel. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of this gameplay. Milo had some interesting sounds, and I hope you guys are excited as I am for Zombie Chronicles. It was... playing it was absolutely an incredible experience. I absolutely believe 9 out of 10. I didn't play Origins enough to really have too much of a gripe, but some common questions. Probably I think the robots come faster. A lot of the glitches are gone. The mud is slower. So if you have one negative gripe about it, is you are even slower in the mud, but you have 3 hits. So maybe that's the balance between the two of them. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy the sounds of Call of Duty Zombie Chronicles.
Mud is slowing me down.
Your effort will soon be rewarded.
I need a reload! Fast!
Oh, hey, how you doing? How's it going? You see these beautiful posters here? You can get them right now if you want to support us here at Rad Company or Rad Rendering. That's my little startup here. We like to make these kind of merchandise, and as you can see, they are 12 by 18 inches. You can get them in packs. We also have GobbleGums that are on sale too. You can see the promo image now. Ooh, promo image. But you can go support the company, support my videos. That's how I continue to make a living off this stuff while still being a student here at school. But it's never required. I mean, you guys just watching my videos is more than enough. But if you have some disposable income and want some badass posters, absolutely. We might bring those posters back eventually. They're discontinued right now. But for right now, we have our wonderful Death 4 series commemorating the deaths of each of our characters, and the GobbleGum series commemorating some of our favorite GobbleGums. We have something in the works for Zombie Chronicles that you guys can look forward to, so those should be out by the end of June. And it's just kind of a way for me to give back to you, and then you can also support me and my company and everybody that helps me out part-time to try and make my startup a reality. So, I mean, if you enjoy it, go to radcompany.org or radrendering.com. You can go purchase them. There are 3 different bundles you can get. There's a $25 bundle. There's actually 2 $25 bundles. One for just the Death 4 perks, one for just the GobbleGums if you just want those. You're like, I don't like those other posters. Or you can go get them both in a pack that's actually discounted. It's $45, so it's cheaper than you buying both of them individually. And I'll send them out too because shipping also is expensive. So shipping's not included. You do have to pay for that, but it's only like $7 to $10 unless you're international. Then it's $25, and those are set by USPS. I can't do anything about those rates. So I just want to chime in, let you know that the sale's going on. It's only for 2 weeks, so May 8th to the 22nd. Get the posters now. It's a pre-order period, and once they're gone, they're gone. And I don't print any more of them, and you can't get them anymore. So there's your chance. Do it now, so I can go eat my food and pay people to work.